Hey everybody, and thanks for tuning in. Today I want to cover what's going to be a pretty quick topic about something that happened over this last weekend when one of my friends was trying to update their Opnsense firewall and ran into some issues with a bad update, and we had to look into what's called version pinning. It's a topic I've been meaning to cover, so we're going to cover it today, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about the most recent Opnsense update 25.7.6. So as you can see here, I have a firewall currently running on Opnsense 25.7.4. If I go to System, Firmware, Status, and if I can see, again, that version 25.7.4, if I was to check for updates, I would be offered to update to 25.7.6, which I can see if I go to the changelog. There are two versions newer than the version that I'm running available. But let's say I only want to update my firewall every so often, every 2 months, 6 months, every year, whatever it is. But you need to install something like a new plugin. You're going to follow my video on Google Drive backups. So if I come out here and I try to install the Google Drive backup plugin, I'm actually going to get an error that indicates that my installation is out of date and that I'll have to update to the most recent version in order to get that plugin added. And this is what happened over the weekend. I had a friend, he was going to follow along with one of my videos, add in some new features, and actually test out a couple of things for me to verify my installation steps. And sure enough, he goes to install 25.7.6 and runs into an error that we're seeing a lot on the forums. So if you navigate to the forums for Opnsense at forum.opnsense.org, you'll see a lot of people are mentioning they're running into this danger, unexpected error, check log for details during their upgrade. Some people have been able to work around this by doing a reinstall. Some people haven't. Some people have been able to just re-add the Opnsense package. Again, others haven't. It seems a little inconsistent right now, and to be perfectly honest, not something I want to deal with. If we've got an update that's having problems, they're likely going to fix this and patch it out, but it's not realistic to ask all of my clients to hold off on any changes they're making on their systems just because there's a bad update out there, and we shouldn't be forced into this update in the meantime and have to troubleshoot through all of this. Realistically, what we want to do is we just want to say, hey, we're not going to install this update. We're going to keep operating as normal until we see something come out from Opnsense that indicates that there's a workaround or known recovery steps for this, or they just release another version of Opnsense that has this particular issue patched out. Now, when we ran into this over the weekend, it was pretty detrimental. It takes away your ability to use the UI at all. It takes you back to the command prompt only, and even from the console, sometimes it breaks login. So there have been instances where we're not able to log in via console, we're not able to log in via the UI, we're going back to single user mode, or we're reinstalling from the ground up. And even reinstallation, a brand new install, trying to install this 25.7.6, we ended up right back at that danger error. So the 25.7.6 patch notes do indicate that there is a problem where you will have to check for the update multiple times and you will get an error. And this is happening because the package manager is being replaced as part of this update. But it does seem like that part of the process is broken, as what seems to happen is the actual Opnsense package that runs a lot of the functionality in the UI totally breaks down during the update. The solution for us in this case was to go back to version pinning and basically say, hey, we're going to lock in on this 25.7.4 version that we had previously installed, and we're just going to stay there. Or maybe we're going to update to 25.7.5 and we're just going to stay there. Well, how do you do that? So if you go to System Firmware Settings, you'll see here there's a checkbox for Advanced Mode, which brings up this flavor option. If we set flavor to Custom, and if we enter in the version, the major version number, followed by /mint, followed by the minor version number, followed by /latest, that should pin you on the version. Now we can validate this works. So if I click Save, and then I come over here and I check for updates, it should not offer me the update to 25.7.6. And my packages are up to date. And there's nothing on the selected mirror. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean this string is correct. That just means it didn't find updates. So what we want to do is we want to validate, can I actually pull something from the mirror? So we'll go to Plugins. And we'll, again, just try that Google Drive plugin. And we can see it's downloading it successfully. Okay, so my firewall is now pinned to version 25.7.4. But what if you're not on version 25.7.4 and you need to pin to some other version? Well, if we go out to package.opnsense.org, you can see the different versions of FreeBSD that are released here. Now, version 24 and older were on FreeBSD 13 or earlier. The current version, 25, is on FreeBSD 14, but you should just be able to go to whichever one of these, like say FreeBSD 15 or 16, in the future, open it up, verify that your major version that you're trying to pin to is there. So in this case, 25.7. Then we're going to be mint. And now we're looking for our minor version. So it's 25.7.4, latest. And once you can see the package site files and the meta files here, that tells us we're in the right path. And all we need is everything after the FreeBSD version. So it'll be FreeBSD 14, AMD 64, and then we're going to grab 25.7, mint, 25.7.4, latest, which matches what we put in the firewall here. So let's say we were going to be on 25.7.1, for example, or even just base 25.7. There would be our string, 25.7/mint/25.7/latest. All right, everybody. That's it for today. Sorry this one was so quick, but I just wanted to get this out there because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be looking for information on how to version pin their firewall here soon. Thanks for watching.